This video today is something that's very relative to what's happening in our society. All of you know what the LGBTQ stands for. That's lesbians, blacks, gays, transgenders, and I'm assuming Q stands for queers because that's what they used to be known as before this whole media frenzy started about giving gays more rights than, let's say, the average normal person. And there is a story circulating, and you've seen it already on YouTube and on the news. Boys are starting to wear skirts to school, and in some instances they're saying, oh, well, we're just protesting the way that the school treats boys over girls about what they can wear. That boys cannot wear shorts, yet a girl can wear a skirt anytime she wants because that's supposed to be her acceptable form of clothing and not a guy. And if you watched my videos in the last couple of weeks, you see that I'm making a very distinct statement about what the socialist regime, the New World Order agenda is, which is if everybody complies with each other and they conform, then everybody will be seen as equal. And a lot of people are laughing about that, saying, oh, that's crazy. Well, this is a very good example for everybody who's watching my video today. You can say, it's a coincidence, it's not real, it's not relating to what you're talking about. And I have to tell you, yes it is, because the socialist mentality, the globalist mentality is the more you can introduce these kinds of radical view changes and do it in such kind of insignificant ways like they're doing in school, then the perception of it becomes not only normal and acceptable, but that's the whole philosophy of how the gay community got the status quo they are now, where everybody must accept them the way they are. You must accept their lifestyle. You must essentially worship them because they believe a certain way is the way they should live, and everybody else should accept that. Well, my videos are relative because I'm saying in the future that this New World Order perception is going to be that everybody is the same, so everybody should wear the same clothing. And what the socialists are doing is indirectly bringing up certain little small issues like this to say these boys in this one instance are dressing in skirts because they're saying to the generations of people out there who have never accepted it, if we can't wear something that keeps us cool, then we'll wear something that's totally radically different and see how society reacts to that. And I promise you, it's the socialist attitude of the world who's behind it. They're encouraging this kind of mentality change. They're telling children, be whatever you want to be. It doesn't matter whether it's considered respectable or if it's something totally radically out of line for what society sees as being acceptable. And it is only the beginning, because they're telling people it is only the beginning because they're telling people over and over again, everybody must be able to use the bathroom wherever you are, whether it be you're a transgender, you're a gay, you're a lesbian, you're whatever. And that's all part of this philosophy that I'm trying to project to people who watch the videos about the global world order coming. Eventually, they're going to force you to believe this because they're going to make it a mandatory requirement for everybody to wear exactly the same thing. And then you all will see yourself being in conformity to what the government is saying. And I'm going to be posting on this video some scenes of different shots of some videos that I found relating to the school systems who are permitting boys to wear skirts or telling them, oh, well, we don't allow all those who want to wear whatever they want to wear them because it gives the wrong perception to younger children who might not know yet of what identity they choose to live by. And all of that has an underlying fact in it that we are saying, and this is the education systems of the world, we must conform to the global viewpoint that everybody is the same no matter what gender you choose to be, no matter how you want to live. You must accept it, and you will accept it. And now you have the next stage in this, that the government is telling school systems it's no longer a choice for you to say you're going to allow this. You will allow it. You will mandate it. You'll encourage it. Because you see, the more they create this illusion in society that it's acceptable to live any way you want, whether it be normal, whether it be abnormal, whatever, they want society to forget what is right and what isn't right. Good is now bad, bad is now good. That's what they keep telling you all the time in the media. They tell you that in everything about society. You can be whatever you want. And if it keeps going, eventually civilization will either disintegrate completely, there won't be any law, there won't be any order, there won't be anything. In my videos, I'm even saying this: the American public will accept eventually Sharia law. Sharia law is essentially that the Constitution is eradicated, it doesn't exist, because the global government is already saying there is a United Nations Constitution in existence, and they're trying to say that all the nations of the world should accept the United Nations Constitution. They should ratify it, they should eliminate the sovereignty of their nations, they should accept the global constitution as being the constitution that that particular nation that used to exist will now believe, it will now live that way. And the more these things are happening, to me it's inevitable. It's going to happen sooner or later, that society will just throw their hands up and say, we're fed up, we're not going to keep fighting what we know was right, we're just going to give up and give in to what they are trying to tell us to live by and how to live. And y'all hear it all the time on videos about the Bilderberg Group, the Illuminati, these individual groups who represent not only the financial systems of the world, who are backed by certain groups. They're all a part of the socialist national New World Order agenda. And Obama said it for 8 years. He was saying over and over again, it's here already, you can't change it, you can't get rid of it. And he practically laughed in the media's face, saying, well, if y'all trying to say to the public, oh, it's not real, it's not happening, wake up call, it's here, it's now, it's right now, it's going on. And people didn't want to hear it. And so now that he is no longer physically in front of the camera, he's behind the camera now. He's in the background telling the Democrat socialists of the United States, you have to keep the chaos going. You have to keep bashing Trump, putting him down, destroying the unity of the United States, keeping people from being willing to say, we have to destroy our petty differences and be behind the man who we chose and who we voted for as president of this country. And the socialists, the Democrats, have been saying since day one when Trump was elected, okay, so y'all voted for him, we didn't, so therefore it null and voids the election, because now we're saying we're the establishment and we don't accept Trump, so therefore he's not president. That's what the Democrats are laughingly trying to show the world. They said it, so therefore we have to accept it. And I say that's laughable. But it's more than laughable, it's criminal, because the American people are the ones who choose the president. It's not up to one party over another telling them this is how it's going to be. And again, all of this subject about the LGBTQ is behind one fact. The socialists want the mentality of gays and homosexuals to be tantamount to our rights as American citizens, that it's their rights that should supersede any other rights we have as Americans. Whether you believe them or you don't, they're telling the world this is how it's going to be because this is what we want it to be. We meaning the socialists, the globalists, the New World Order. They're telling everybody, you're going to live this way because we're telling you to. Obama said that for 8 years, and you tell that to people and it's like, you know, I'm not going to hear it because, yeah, I know it's true, I know he said that, but we're not going to accept it because, sadly enough, he's not there. He's not our great leader telling us how we're going to live today. It's somebody else that we didn't vote for. It doesn't change the fact Trump's the president. You've got to be willing to say to yourself, I am going to stay united as an American citizen with everybody else who voted, and I'm going to stand behind Trump whether I believe him or I don't believe him. John Lewis is an idiot. He's a hypocrite. He's a racist for one reason. He told everybody, and everybody took it literally to mean, God himself just said it, he's not a legitimate president. John Lewis said that, and nobody ever said, you are a racist, except one man, and he's now being forced out of his position as a state county commissioner in Georgia because of the fact he called him a racist pig, or he is a racist pig. But you see, they say blacks can say anything they want to, but a white person cannot, because for some reason there's that differential between one race and another. Now it's the blacks have absolute exemption from any responsibility for their statements, but Americans, being white, cannot say anything. On the television last night, I was watching a sitcom. They brought up the N-word, and I won't say it, but I say this: if a black can say it and a white person can't, that is not freedom. It is not equal rights. There is no equality in America if a black person can say it anytime they want, and it's not racism. But then you flip the coin and say if a white person says it, then it's racism. That is not equality. That is not a free nation we live in. Again, getting back though to what I wanted to do this video about the LGBTQ. There's an article in the paper, I've probably already shown it already, saying the school itself is no place to bring up differentials between one gender and another, whether or not we must accept somebody who wants to live abnormally, unnaturally, or not. It's about you're there to learn something in school to make yourself a better person when you graduate, not to reflect yourself in a perception of this is how I am or what I am. It has no place in school, because school is for learning. It is not to push or subjugate your viewpoints on other kids and say this is who I am, so I'm going to force you to accept me. That's what in society is happening about the issue of gay and lesbian and homosexual rights. That it isn't just they live that way. They're saying now you will accept the way I live, or they call it a hate crime because you have differences of opinion about how they want to live their lives. Another thing that's been brought up in one of my videos, I hope you've seen it, is called thought crime. That means what you think is now an illegal act, because now the government's telling you you can't say that, you can't do that. Now they're saying you can't think it either.
Go, I say go away, you bother me.
A certain way, we're going to have you arrested because now you're violating somebody else's rights because you're thinking of it in your mind. Is that more laughable than what has already been perpetrated on the American people, saying that you must this, you must that, you will this, you will that? That's socialism. That's what I've been trying to say in these videos. Socialism is here, and Obama is behind every single act because he's still out there and he's still telling the Socialist Democratic Party, this is what has to be done. This is what's got to be initiated. Even though I'm not there right now, you have to conform to what I've been trying to say, which is you keep continuity and chaos, you keep everybody's minds completely disorientated, bring up all these other little things like the boys wearing skirts, and it helps to usher all of this totally into the face of everybody. Accept, submit, believe. It's no longer an issue anymore of whatever your individual choices are. That's immaterial for them because it doesn't matter. This is how they're saying you're going to live. And that's society, folks, right now in 2017. You don't stand by Trump, you're sending America into the wastebasket. If you stand by Trump, there's a fighting chance we can try to get this mess under control and stopped. So thank you.